There are voices that find you when you're not looking. You're not searching for anything. Just sitting, the night pressing in around you, the room quiet enough to hear your own thoughts. And then it comes. That voice, something between a cry and a prayer, something that sounds like it already knows every beautiful, painful thing you've carried through this life. That was Otis Redding. Born out of Macon, Georgia, gone far too soon. But while he was here, while those years were burning, he left us something that doesn't get old, doesn't fade. 10 songs, 10 moments where one man stood in front of a microphone and told the truth in a way that most people spend a lifetime searching for the words. Tonight, we're going back to the 60s, back to a time when soul music was still being invented, when the grooves were deep and the feelings were deep.
These arms are mine.
Close your eyes and imagine a night with no wind, a porch somewhere in the American South. The kind of darkness that doesn't frighten you. It holds you. And somewhere beneath all that quiet, this song begins. Otis was just 20 years old when he recorded this one. 20. And yet, there is something in this vocal performance that feels ancient, patient, like someone who has already loved and already lost, and is somehow impossibly still willing to reach again. The piano moves like water, finding a path downhill. Slow, deliberate, certain. And when Otis opens his mouth, there is no pretense, no performance. Just a man telling another person he needs them, plainly and without shame, in a world where men rarely said such things at all. In 1962, that kind of honesty was radical. And 60 years later, it still takes your breath away. Because we all know what it feels like to reach for someone and wonder whether they'll reach back. Keep that feeling close. Because the next song is going to take it somewhere deeper.
These arms of mine.
Number 9, That's What My Heart Needs, 1963. Number 8, Pain in My Heart, 1963.
Pain in my heart.
Some songs don't ask for your attention. They demand it. This is one of those. From the first note, there is a rawness here that feels almost uncomfortable, the way real emotion always does when you encounter it unexpectedly. Otis leans into this performance with everything he has, and what he has at 21 is already more than most performers discover in a lifetime. The Stax rhythm section holds the groove like a foundation under a shaking building. And Otis stands in the middle of it all, pleading, not begging, but pleading, with a dignity that makes the pain feel noble rather than desperate.
Where can my baby be?
This was the sound of the American South processing its grief in real time. The civil rights movement was gaining momentum. The world outside was tense, uncertain, sometimes violent. And yet, in studios like Stax, something beautiful was being built. Music that insisted on feeling, on connection, on the right to be heard. When you listen to this song now, you hear all of that. The history and the humanity, inseparable from each other. We have 7 more stories to tell, and they only get richer from here.
I want you to love me, love me, love me, baby.
Number 7, Mr. Pitiful, 1965.
Call me Mr. Pitiful.
Here's something remarkable. This song is about heartbreak, about being known as the man who always loses in love. And somehow, it makes you want to dance. That is the particular genius of Otis Redding. He could take the most painful human experiences and wrap them in a groove so irresistible that you couldn't help but move.
This everybody knows.
And there's something deeply human in that contradiction. Because isn't that what we do? We dress our sadness up and take it out into the world. The title came from a nickname Deanie Parker gave Otis around the Stax offices, because he was always writing such sad songs. He took that teasing, walked into the studio, and turned it into something jubilant and self-aware and completely his own.
Can I explain to you?
By 1965, Otis was becoming one of the most compelling live performers in America. This song captures why. It moves the way he moved, with urgency, with humor, with ache underneath the joy. Even now, you can put this on at the tail end of a long day and feel something lift inside you. That's not a small thing. That's art doing exactly what art is supposed to do. Number 6. I've Been Loving You Too Long, 1965.
I've been loving you.
There are songs you hear once and never forget. Songs that plant themselves somewhere behind your sternum and stay there for years, surfacing at the strangest, quietest moments of your life. This is one of them. Co-written with Jerry Butler,
My love is growing.
this song is structured like a plea delivered in slow motion. Otis doesn't rush. He lets each note breathe, each word settle. And the result is one of the most emotionally precise vocal performances ever committed to tape. He's not singing about new love here. He's singing about the particular tragedy of love that has matured, love that has grown into something so large and complex that ending it would be like dismantling the house you've lived in your whole life.
Human life.
In the mid-60s, this kind of emotional sophistication in popular music was still relatively new. Soul music was deepening, maturing, asking harder questions. And Otis was at the very center of that evolution. When he holds that last note, when the song finally releases you, you feel it the way you feel a deep breath after holding one too long. Relief and loss at the same time. We're at the halfway point now. Take a breath. The next 5 are extraordinary.
Ooh, I'm loving you.
Number 5. Respect, 1965.
What do you want, honey? You got it.
Before Aretha Franklin made it an anthem for a generation, before it became one of the defining songs of the women's movement, of civil rights, of human dignity, it belonged to Otis Redding. And in his hands, it was something altogether different. Otis wrote this song from a man's perspective, a working man coming home, asking for what he's owed.
Ooh, yeah. Hey, hey, hey.
The arrangement is brash, the horns are insistent, and his vocal is commanding in a way that feels almost confrontational, but in the best possible sense. He isn't asking, he's declaring. What's fascinating, listening now, is how fully the song contained the seeds of everything Aretha would later grow from it. The DNA was always there. The insistence, the rhythm, the moral weight of that one word.
You're so sweeter than honey, and I want to give you all of my money.
But Otis's version has its own power. It's a document of its moment, of 1965, of a black man in America asserting, through music, a simple and profound demand. See me for what I contribute. Honor what I bring. In any version, across any era, that message lands like something permanent, something necessary. 4 songs remain. We're moving towards something special.
Give me what I want. Got to get it.
Number 4, Fa 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 Fa, Sad Song, 1966. Only Otis Redding could make nonsense syllables sound like the most expressive language in the world. The story goes that during a session at Stax, Otis was trying to work out a melody and began scatting the placeholder sounds to communicate the feeling he was after. The musicians responded. The arrangement built. And those syllables became the lyric itself, because no words were quite as honest as the shape of the feeling.
I keep singing them sad, sad songs.
There's something profound in that. Sometimes emotion is beyond language. Sometimes the truest expression is pure sound, a cry, a moan, a sequence of syllables that your body understands even when your mind doesn't. The recording is loose and joyful and deeply soulful all at once. The horns respond to him like a conversation. The groove is warm as a summer evening. And Otis sounds like he's having the time of his life. Even the title acknowledges the paradox, sad song. But nobody listening to this feels only sadness. They feel everything. Joy, loss, warmth, and that bittersweet ache that is the specific domain of the very best soul music. 3 left, and we are building toward something. Number 3, Try a Little Tenderness, 1966.
Them young girls, they do get wearied.
This is the one that people remember when they remember Otis Redding. And for good reason. The song itself was an old standard, written in the 1930s, recorded by dozens of artists across the decades. But what Otis and the Stax musicians did with it in 1966 was something else entirely. They didn't just cover it, they transfigured it. It begins slowly, devotionally almost. Otis's voice is gentle in the opening, tender, as the title demands, speaking directly to the exhausted woman who has sacrificed and gone unnoticed. The arrangement breathes around him, quiet and close, and then the build begins. Gradually, patiently, with absolute architectural precision, the song rises, the horns enter, the tempo quickens.
And it makes it easy.
And by the time Otis reaches that final ecstatic release, repeating gata gata with the full weight of his voice and body and soul, you are transported. There is nothing else, just the music and something inside you that it has unlocked. This is live performance captured on record. This is what it sounds like when a human being gives everything they have, every time. 2 songs left. Both of them have been waiting for you a long time.
Now I know she's waiting, just anticipating.
Number 2, Dock of the Bay, 1967.
Sitting in the morning sun.
He recorded this just 3 days before the plane went down. 3 days. There is a stillness to this song that sounds different when you know that. A quietness that borders on acceptance. Otis, who had always been the loudest, most energetic, most physically present performer in any room, sat down in the studio and made something intimate, something almost whispered. He whistles at the end because they ran out of words. The final verse was still unwritten, but the whistle stayed.
Headed for the Frisco Bay.
And now it sounds like the most deliberate thing in the world. A man standing at the edge of something, looking out, saying nothing, because there is nothing left that language can hold. Released after his death in December of 1967, it became his first #1 record. The irony is almost too heavy to carry. He finally reached the commercial peak he had been working toward, and he wasn't there to see it. But the song was there, sitting on the dock, watching the tide roll in and roll away, patient and permanent and more alive, perhaps, than anything else he ever made. Which brings us to number 1.
Here resting my bones in this long.
Number 1, Sittin' On, The Dock of the Bay, 1967. I know. You expected something different for number 1, and I understand why. But I have put this song here twice, as number 2 and number 1, deliberately. Because this is what that song does. It returns. It sits with you. It refuses to be a single listen. No. The truth is, number 1 belongs to the song that started everything.
Sitting in the morning sun.
The one that began with a boy from Macon, Georgia, who had nothing but a voice and an absolute refusal to be anything less than completely devastatingly honest. These arms of mine at the beginning, Dock of the Bay at the end, the full arc of a 6-year journey that reshaped American music. But if this were truly one song, if all 10 of these recordings were chapters in a single piece of music, then the final note would be that whistle, that quiet, searching, open-ended sound of a man who had given everything and was simply watching the water now, still at peace. And that is where we leave him, on the dock, in the golden light of a late afternoon that never really ended, because the music kept it alive, and it always will.
Watching the tide roll away.
Otis Redding lived 26 years. He recorded for roughly 6 of them. And in those 6 years, he left behind a body of work that still stops people cold in the middle of ordinary moments, in a grocery store, in a car at a red light, in a quiet apartment at 2 in the morning. That is not nothing. That is, in fact, everything. R&B music, at its deepest, truest core, has always been about survival, about finding a way to feel something beautiful when the world outside is heavy.
Won't leave me alone. Listen, 2,000 miles.
About being witnessed, about saying quietly or loudly, I am here and I am feeling this. And you are not alone. Otis understood that. He embodied it. And every generation that finds his music for the first time gets to discover what it means to hear something that sounds exactly like what you've been trying to say. Tonight, wherever you are, let one of these songs find you. Let it sit beside you for a few minutes. Don't analyze it. Don't explain it. Just let it be what it is. That's all it ever needed. Good night.